Now, Tyler, I joke with guys that played with you on that 2012 team because I feel like you guys are kind of like the forgotten ball club, that 2012 group, because, everybody talks about 10 and 11 back to back, of course. And you guys made it all the way to the finals in 2012. But you go to YouTube, there's no highlights. Nobody ever talks about it.
Yeah.
Like everybody just kind of forgets 2012 even happened just because you guys didn't win it. It's funny. I like to poke fun at that team in the upstate Clemson that, that season would be like the best season in the history of their entire program. And just because you guys didn't win the whole thing, it's like it gets discounted almost in a way. And I know it doesn't for like the diehard Gamecock baseball fans, but it's just so funny how that season sort of gets swept under the rug, if you will. And I think when you look at that season almost even more in depth, going into 12, you guys lost a fair amount. And the amount of newcomers that contributed, and guys like Joey Pancake and Grayson Griner and Tanner English and guys that were really helping you out to get back there and damn near do it again. And you guys ran into a buzzsaw that was that Arizona team. I remember Rob Refsnyder led them, which I don't know if you maybe crossed
Yeah,
paths
play with
with
him.
the Yankees. Yeah. So, obviously a really, really good ball player, and that Arizona team was really good. But, how does it feel, I guess, to be a part of that 2012 club? Like I said, I feel like it's forgotten for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting because all those, looking back now, like they all kind of run together. Like at least maybe not so much Rosenblatt, but the other two kind of run together for me. Like, what year was that? In TD Ameritrade, I guess. So like to me, it's all like 1 year, but it was obviously two separate events. But it was, yeah, I mean, that was a really good team, and yeah, kind of forgotten. I mean, 3 years in a row we played the last series of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, we were in Omaha for 2 weeks at the end of June, 3 years in a row, and that third year unfortunately gets forgotten. But I mean, hey, you go there to win it, and we didn't. So, hey, it is what it is, I guess.
You guys set the bar. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
when you win it back to back, I guess you just you set the bar. Tyler, I want to ask you, because again, that junior season, and we all know how critical, how big that junior season is for your professional career and your draft status. In 2012, you had a phenomenal year. You went 6-1 with a 1.56 ERA, 39 appearances. You had 3 saves. You threw your most innings as a Gamecock in a season with 57 and 2/3 innings pitched. You had 58 strikeouts. I was trying to find it. I'm curious here. Did you get drafted in that junior season? I'd have to imagine you did, right?
No, so I got drafted the year before as a draft eligible sophomore.
Okay.
Like the 48th round, and decided to come back. And then the junior year, was talking to teams and did the whole draft pre-process and all that stuff. And then, first day came and went, which I, wasn't that hopeful for. And then the second day kind of came and went, and I kind of got a little ticked off because, I had a pretty good year, like you said. And, teams just, I for whatever reason, just kind of passed. And so I got ticked off and kind of turned my phone off and said, I'll go back, do it again next year. And it's kind of what, what happened.
That just seems shocking to me. Like,
Yeah.
because again, that junior year, you balled out. I mean, there's no question you balled out. And like I said, you threw your most innings as a Gamecock. And, I guess obviously it was great for South Carolina, though, because you come back before we get in that 2013 season. And again, Tyler, your final year, obviously the big thing that changed was Ray Tanner retired, Chad Holbrook taking over as the head coach. Did that come as a surprise to you at all? And what was, I feel like the transition was pretty seamless because Coach Holbrook was on those teams that won the back-to-back. He was even there before that. I'm sure he had a big hand in recruiting you and obviously a host of others. But, were you surprised at the news when Coach Tanner decided to retire and take the AD role, if you will? And then what was the transition like with Holbrook?
I can't really remember, but no, not really. Like, I don't really, I don't think you can blame him for wanting to go out on top. And, that's a pretty good run. And, kind of transitioning into a new role that he thought, I don't know, maybe he thought it might be less stressful. I don't know if he thinks that now, but you can't blame him for trying to look to the future. And, he had some small kids at the time that he wanted to see more. And, like you said, other than that, it was kind of all the coaches were the same. It was kind of, all right, Holbrook's the head coach now. Nothing really you know, it was ran the same. It was just kind of like Holbrook was doing what Tanner did, you know, the previous 3 years. So it really wasn't that big of a difference in my mind.